You've got to get outside. I repeat, you've got to get outside. And the reason why is because if you stay indoors too much, you're not getting enough oxygen. I repeat, you are not getting enough oxygen. You've got to get outside. And because the effects of not getting enough oxygen is that your body, germs in the air from inside your house start to create disease. You will see that your body might start to get rashes, start to get skin disorders. You'll probably get inflammation somewhere, and it's all a result of not getting enough oxygen. You've got to get oxygen in order to oxygenate the body and help, to open up your pores so that your body excretes through your pores when you go out for walks. Because by you walking and your body moving that, moving the, I think it's called, like fluids, your body has like a different type of systems. And when you sweat, you release a lot of toxins from the body, which helps to open up your pores so that oxygen can go in and keep your skin healthy. But if you eat the wrong foods, the foods itself are going to be toxic, which is going to want to come out through your skin. So the best way to stay healthy is to exercise daily, take walks, get around the trees and nature, get sun, and eat the right foods like fruits and vegetables. Drink water, stay hydrated. Make sure to take a walk every single day. Sometimes I don't take walks. Sometimes there are days that I don't take walks. But, last year there was a couple of months that I spent indoors because it's like I couldn't stand the, like every single time I went outside, somebody wanted my attention. And then it got kind of out of hand because it's like you don't know how to deal with certain people sometimes other than just ignore them. And then if you think too much about it, it's just going to make you dwell on the same thing over and over if you think too much about somebody. And you don't, that's another thing you have to like not do, because that's toxic. It's toxic to think about somebody over and over, and also think badly about them too, or judge them, because by you judging another, you're judging yourself. So technically you are really mostly supposed to be focused on yourself and doing what you got to do to stay healthy, because if your attention is on something other than yourself, you're draining your energy. You're draining your energy, and you don't even really know. Like, I know it's easier said than done, because sometimes some people want to be the forefront of your life, but you have to focus on yourself, practicing self-care. You gotta make sure that you don't fall back on things you have to do for yourself, because your life is the most important. If you don't do what you have to do for yourself, things will get more chaotic, and then it's like you're gonna be left in some type of toxic environment, because you weren't maintaining your environment by cleansing the energy as often as possible and maintaining a high vibrational environment. You have to, some of us, we're sensitive, so we pick up a lot of energy, but the way to deal with that is just to practice more self-care, like more self-care rather than focusing on all the other extra distractions. Keep it simple. It helps to keep it simple. Like, eat the right foods, like getting in touch with your body, practicing yoga. Those things help to keep it simple. To have a routine that keeps your body healthy. Because getting in touch with your body is the best way to stay grounded. So this is important, because if you don't practice self-care, you're going to find yourself with a lot of, illnesses and diseases that are gonna come out of nowhere. But actually, it's not out of nowhere. You know where it came from. It came from all the toxic energy that keeps attaching itself to you, because you're not practicing self-care and preserving your environment. So just make sure that you're doing what you got to do. Make sure. This ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. Because when the toxic environment accumulates, it affects your liver, your kidneys, your lungs, and then eventually all the other organs, your veins, your eyes, your skin, your hair. Like, if you can pinpoint at a time when you had a lot of breakouts, most likely it's because the toxic environment around you. If you could pinpoint a time when your hair was falling off, most likely it was because of a toxic situation that was stressing you out, that that caused you to not take care of your hair, because you need to spend time on your hair, you know. You know, if you could pinpoint a time that you were just, you know, doing something and you like sprained your ankle, most likely that's around the time that you were rushing or something like that, and then you just accidentally hurt yourself. And that's because you're thinking too much about doing everything right, to the point that you attract a situation of not doing something right. So then, you know, you have to relax and trust that everything is working out for you, and you don't have to rush. Anything that's rushing you has to slow down. That's the truth. Anything that's rushing you has to slow down. If they're rushing you, it's because they're not practicing self-care either. So, you know, take the time to do everything a step at a time, even if it's late at night, you know. Like, you might feel that, you know, you can't really wake up in the morning to go to the gym, but you may be able to go in the afternoon or the evening, you know. As long as you take the steps toward practicing self-care, eventually your schedule will start to get more in tune with the right way that it should be. But if you never begin, you will not form like new connections in your brain to show you how something can be done, because you won't have experience. You won't have enough experience to create new pathways in the brain. And because those pathways is what's gonna help attract more of that energy or frequency or thought pattern. So when you practice, when you just take things a step at a time, it helps you focus on things in a better, more detailed way. That way, everything gets done correctly. But if you just rush and think that you gotta like do it fast in order to get to the next phase, you may not even get it done correctly, because you're not putting it into small steps. And sometimes it helps to put things into small steps so that you can get better at something. yeah, so that's just it's just what my intuition is telling me, and I just felt to share. Yeah, I felt it was a good thing to share with others so that they can, start to see their life improve and their health improve. Because we have this life to live, and we can't just let it pass us by because we're not taking the time to take care of ourselves fully. Like, don't worry about the things that that people do, because the universe will show them what they're doing to their face, and they will know, because every cause has an effect. So you get what you put in. So don't focus on any revenge or anything like that. Just focus on taking care of yourself, practicing self-care, because health is wealth. Health is wealth. I know, like at the moment, I do sort of feel like a whole bunch of things are occurring in my life. It's hard to keep up, It's hard to keep up with every single thing that's coming toward me, and it's like I gotta keep everything, gotta put it into steps and not think too much about the timing, because the timing is like, who cares at this point? Like they say that we're supposed to wake up in the morning and start our day, but some of us have a different schedule because our brains are just not, it's just not working for the AM like that. Like, I get most of my energy in the afternoon all the way to the evening. But that's just how it is at the moment. That's not how it may not always be like that. It may change. So based on my schedule and how I wake up and what I deal with, that is gonna mean that I'm gonna have to work on practicing self-care around that schedule, until it goes back into a right place, until my circadian rhythm gets back into the natural balance, the natural rhythm, my circadian rhythm. All of that, it depends on your environment. If your environment is not good, your circadian rhythm is not going to be good either. It's like some people hardly are actually living their lives because all they're doing is just repeating a routine every single day that's doesn't even feel right. And that's like how it was when I was working. You know, it was sort of like a routine that just, it seemed, it's like I wasn't really living. I was just moving and doing things, but I wasn't really living, you know. And you got to get to a point where you're actually living a full life and not just like existing or just moving your body and doing things on autopilot and on, you know, just doing whatever and, you know, letting life move you around and push you around in places where you're not even, you did not intend to go in that direction. Like, you have to be able to be a, you know, very good at putting things into its rightful place. So that's the message. That's the message. It's the message for today. Get outside. Get outside so that you could have more oxygen in your body. So that you don't get any health issues that come with staying indoors and not getting enough oxygen. You know, think about the fact that you know, when you see something in a container for a long period of time, you know, especially if it's a living thing or something, it's not going to survive if it has no oxygen. Think about the fruits, you know, if you leave them inside a bag without any oxygen, they rot. So they spoil, you know. That's an example of what happens to your body when you don't get oxygen. It's like your body's not getting enough oxygen so that, you know, it could breathe. Because not only do you breathe from your nose, but you breathe from your skin too. And just test it for yourself. If you ever left some apples in a bag with no holes in it, you will see that thing rot within like 3 days or so. So that's exactly what happens to your body. It's rotting. It's getting you know, different things are starting to grow on it because it's decaying. So just keep that in mind, that when you don't get enough oxygen, it's not healthy for you. So even if people are out there, you know, trying to get your attention and you don't even know how to really interact with them like that, you're trying not to be mean, but you're not, you know, you're trying not to be mean, but you're not, you're trying to just be a peaceful person, but then they want something from you, but you are not able to give it in that moment. And they might take your actions the wrong way, but they shouldn't be taking it that way. It's like, you have to like do your best not to overthink that situation. and just focus on just getting outside and letting people respect your boundaries, because boundaries are important. You know, if you want to make things work correctly in your life, if you want to help things work correctly, you have to take the steps to make that happen. So that's all I gotta say for now. Until next time, hope you get the message.